Students, next physical parameter is flow velocity and flow rate sensors. So in industries, we have to measure fluid flow rate or fluid flow velocity. Depending on the fluid velocity, we have to conduct few experiments or few works in plants and in laboratories. So if the flow velocity is more, if the fluid velocity is more, we have to run our operation little bit speed. And if the flow rate is less value, we have to conduct our operation little bit slow. So depending on the flow velocity and flow rate, we have to execute some operations. Flow is the movement of a fluid in a channel or in open or closed pipes. And here we have used conduits. So here we can allow fluid in channel, students. Channel means like canal type structure. And sometimes we have to allow fluid in tubes also. The flow rate is the quantity of matter in volume or weight that flows in unit time. Flow rate is measured in all energy and mass transport processes to control or monitor those processes and for metering purposes. Example, water, gas, gasolines, diesel, and crude oil. So students, in our daily life also, we hear the news about the Srisailam project and Nagarjuna Sagar project. Depending on the flood, they will open gates and immediately the down project responsible persons will be prepared for the next further actions. So they will measure the flow rate of that river flow, and depending on that flow rate, they will take decisions whether to open the project gates or not. In the same way, in industries, so we have to allow few gases or few liquids in specific flow rate. Then only we can do that operation. So in this way, we have to measure flow rate in industries. It is very, very important physical parameter in the industries. A viscous or laminar flow is that of fluid flowing along a straight, smooth-walled and uniform transverse section conduit, where all particles have a trajectory parallel to the conduit walls and move in the same direction, each following a streamline. Sometimes the fluid may be sticky type of liquid, and if the density is more, it will take more time to flow. In such cases also, we have to estimate the flow rate. In turbulent flow, in contrast, some of the fluid particles have longitudinal and transverse velocity components. The resulting whirls and only the average velocity is parallel to the axis of the conduit. So just now I have explained the flood flow in rivers. Because of the floods, we will get more flow in rivers or canals. So that comes under turbulent flow. In laminar flow, the fluid velocity profile across the conduit is parabolic. In turbulent flow, the fluid velocity profile is flatter. Bernoulli's theorem relates the fluid pressure, velocity, and height. It applies to an incompressible fluid experiencing only gravity as internal force, flowing in stationary movement and with no heat entering or leaving it. Students, we use Bernoulli's theorem to estimate the flow rate of a fluid. We use Bernoulli's theorem to estimate flow rate of the fluid. Any change in velocity produces an opposite change in pressure that equals the change of kinetic energy per unit volume added to the change due to any difference level. So depending on the volume of the pipe or depending on the cross-sectional area of the pipe, we will get different flow rates. So this is an equation to find out flow rate. This is Bernoulli's theorem equation, where P is the static pressure and this is rho, students. Rho is the fluid density, G is the acceleration of gravity, and H is the height with respect to reference level, and V is the fluid velocity. So all these variables we are using in this equation. And at the right side, we have a table. These are the different types of instruments which we use to estimate flow rate. Depending on the type of the fluid, depending on the type of the flow, we have to choose flow meters. First one is pitot tube, second one is thermal. In thermal, primary type of meter is hot wire anemometer and laser anemometry. If the fluid velocity is local means if we are controllable fluid rate, if you want to measure these types of flow meters we can use. And fluid velocity, average, electromagnetic, ultrasound transmitter and or ultrasound Doppler. And volume flow rate. Volume flow rate means if the canal is large and if in that canal if you want to measure flow rate, then all these meters will be useful. And mass flow rate. If the flow rate is in larger pipes or in larger canals, then we have to use these two effects. And in the next column, we can see output signal. So in pitot tube, what we will do, we will estimate pressure because of the flow rate to estimate the flow rate. We will estimate pressure, we will measure pressure because of the fluid. And depending on the pressure, we can estimate the flow rate. In thermal, that is a hot wire anemometer, we will estimate the temperature. We use temperature to estimate the flow rate. So like that, depending on the application and depending on the flow type, we can convert that flow rate in other parameter, and other parameter we will estimate. That value gives information about the flow rate. First column is types of flow. Second column is types of flow meters. And third column is another parameter, which we are converting flow rate into other parameter. Students, here we have different types of devices. First figure shows an orifice plate, and here we have Venturi tubes. First one is orifice plate, and here we have Venturi tube. These two are devices for the flow rate measurement. Students, this is a pipe, and we are allowing fluid from left to right. We are allowing fluid left to right. And in this pipe, we have, this is a circular pipe, and we have arranged a circular plate as obstruction. And this plate has a small hole which can allow fluid through that hole. This is a circular pipe. We are allowing flow from left to right. Internally, we have arranged a plate as obstruction, and that plate is called as orifice plate, and that orifice plate has a small hole at the middle, so flow can enter through that hole. When flow is going through this hole, here we will get high pressure because plate is obstructing flow, and here we will get less pressure because of the flow. With high speed, this flow will touch pipe here, and it cannot touch this area. Because of that, here we will get less pressure because of the fluid. This area has very less pressure because of the fluid. But here fluid is obstructed by the plate, so here we have more pressure because of the liquid or gas. With the high speed, it is entering into pipe, and in pipe we have arranged a plate as obstruction. Because of that obstruction, fluid will stores here, and plate has small hole and liquid enter through this hole, and immediately it will touch pipe here. It cannot touch this area. So here we have less pressure and here we have high pressure. If we compare both pressures, we can estimate flow rate. If flow rate is more, we will get more pressure difference. If the flow rate is less, we will get less pressure difference. The primary sensor in obstruction flow meter is restriction having constant cross section that obstructs the flow. For example, if a plate having a hole is introduced in a pipe, the fluid being contracts, thereby changing from cross section A1 here, that of the pipe, to cross section A2 here. Because of the principle of mass conservation, a cross-sectional change results in corresponding the change velocity Q is equal to A1 V1, A2 V2. V1 is the velocity, V2 is the velocity, A1 is the cross-sectional area, A2 is the cross-sectional area. So here V2 we have to calculate depending on the pressure differences. So this is the formula. V2 is the unknown flow rate, we can estimate that. If you observe at the right hand side, we are not using V1 because V1 is also unknown. Our aim is to estimate flow velocity. So Bernoulli's theorem we are utilizing, and we are using mass conservation. And here what we are doing, instead of using a plate, just we have constructed pipe in this shape. Instead of using a plate, we have constructed pipe in this pattern. Here we have more cross-sectional area and here we have more cross-sectional area. But in between the A1 and A2, in between the left hand side and right hand side, left side and right side, we have minimized the cross-sectional area. We have minimized the cross-sectional area. So if you allow flow from left to right, here liquid will get stored because cross-sectional area is minimum here. And because of that, you will get more pressure here at the left side. At the left side. And with a high speed, liquid will touch pipe in this area. And you won't get any pressure here because liquid will not be stay here and it will go and it will reaches this point. Go through this slide, students. Here also we will use Bernoulli's theorem in Venturi tube to estimate the flow velocity. This equation is called Bernoulli's theorem. P1 is the pressure, rho is the density of the liquid, G is the gravitational constant, and H1 is the height. And P2 is the pressure again. V1, V2 are the velocities in left side and right side. Velocities of the fluid at right side and left side. And in this equation, we can equate heights. So H1 is equal to H2. Students, this is another type of flow meter called as rotameter. Very, very simple device. So go through this slide for 2 minutes. I will explain the working of this rotameter. So rotameter is a device to estimate flow rate, students. We have to allow flow at the bottom of the rotameter, and internally we have to arrange a device which can float in the liquid. If you allow flow in this rotameter, depending on the flow velocity, this float will reach certain height in this pipe. If the flow velocity is less, this float will be here. If the flow velocity is more, float will reach here. This is called rotameter. It is a device to estimate flow velocity. So here we can allow flow at the bottom of the rotameter and outlet will be at the top. Depending on the flow velocity, float will take position in the pipe. And these dotted lines are scaled to easily find out the position of the rotameter float. And rotameter is also called as variable area flow meter because here you can see the structure will be in cone type. Structure will be cone type. Depending on the float position, cross-sectional area will vary. If the float is here and this is the cross-sectional area of the pipe at the inlet, and if the float takes position here, this entire area will comes under cross-sectional area for the pipe at inlet. The rotameter is a variable area flow meter. Make the fluid pass section variable and keep the difference in pressure between both sides of the obstruction constant. The measured flow rate is then related to the area of the pass section. It consists of a uniform conic section tube and grooved float inside it that it is dragged by the fluid to a height determined by its weight and the density. The fluid, gas or liquid flows upward. Always we have to allow fluid at the bottom and outlet will be at the top of the rotameter. When the flow increases, the float rises, thus allowing an increased annular pass section and keeping the pressure difference between both ends constant. The displacement of the float indicates the fluid flow rate. So if the flow rate is high, float will reach at the top position of the pipe. If the flow rate is less, float will take position at the bottom of the pipe. The pressure lower than 3.5 kilopascals and non-opaque liquids. The tube can be of glass and include the scale to read the float position. So we have to allow only liquids which are transparent to see float in the pipe. Those are called non-opaque liquids. For higher pressure and flows, the tube must be of metal and the position of the float is detected magnetically. So most of the rotameters have glass pipe here to see the float position. But if the fluid creates more pressure, glass may be break. So we have to arrange metallic pipe and we have to arrange a magnet outside Depending on the float position in the pipe, that magnet will move. There are also inexpensive plastic tubes for low pressure, high flow rates. So this is the structure and working of the rotameter, students. Very, very important rotameter, very important flow meter to estimate the flow velocity, rotameter. These are the other flow meters. This flow meter name is pitot tube. Construction will be very, very simple. Here you can observe, students, this is a pipe where we have flow. So I am explaining figure A. I am explaining figure A. This is a pipe and we are allowing flow in this pipe, and from outside we have to insert a small tube called as pitot tube without any leakages, and here we have to arrange an inlet to enter this liquid into this pitot tube. So when you allow flow in this main pipe, depending on the flow rate or depending on the flow velocity, this liquid will occupy area in this pitot tube. If the flow velocity is more, the height or the area which will be occupied by this liquid will be more. If the flow rate is less, it will take less area in this pipe. So same here we have second type of a pitot tube. First figure is open air type of pitot tube, and here we will arrange a pressure. Externally we will arrange a pressure, and because of this flow rate, this liquid will occupy area in this pipe tube. So differential pressure we will measure depending on the height of the liquid in the pitot tube. So very simple construction and easy to measure flow rate by using pitot tube. Okay, students, we will meet in next class. Madam, చెప్పండి మేడం. యా ఫోర్త్. ఓకే మేడం, ఇప్పుడు ప్రస్తుతానికి క్లాస్ జరుగుతుంది, క్లాస్ అయిన తర్వాత వేసేస్తాను.
ఓకే ఓకే సార్. ఓకే థాంక్యూ. బై.